Hi, my name is Antonio Edward, and I've worked with Microsoft Office ever since it first began. Starting with Microsoft Office Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Also worked on Exchange ever since 2007. I've worked with Windows Server platforms since 2008. Um, Microsoft Communicator 2007 R2, as well as Microsoft Link 2010 and 2013. I was part of the Wave 15 test team when I did some work with Microsoft a few years back. Wave 15 actually is the beginnings of Microsoft Office 2013. At the time, I had to sign a non disclosure agreement with Microsoft to say that I wouldn't say anything about Microsoft Office 2013 because it was still in development. And but I got the chance to play with, when there were a lot of errors, a lot of mistakes. I'll tell you, it was a big mess. But luckily, it was all fixed once they came out with Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office has been a very solid product for Microsoft. And which is what keeps the company afloat, and also Microsoft Windows. And everybody's familiar with Microsoft Windows from like 95 to 98, Windows 98. That was my first machine actually was Windows 98, and then Windows XP came out. I had that machine. Uh, didn't really get anything else until Windows Vista, which personally I didn't have any problems with my Windows Vista machine. As many problems as other people had complained about. Yes, it was a little draggy, but you know, um, I think Windows XP is probably the most stable, but I like the feel of Windows 7 a lot better. And then Windows 8 came out, and I have a Windows 8 tablet, a Dell Venue 8 Pro, and I really do like Windows 8. And I think Windows 8 is like once they come out with 8.2 or 8.5, I think it's going to be 100% better. But that's besides the point. Let's get into the meat of the topic. We're going to talk about Microsoft Office. I got two different browsers, Firefox and Chrome, Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome, all with different things. And the reason I want to bring this up real quick, if you really want to learn about Microsoft Office, what the latest features are, and keep up with anything Microsoft Office related, which includes Microsoft Office, definitely subscribe to blogs.office.com. And if you subscribe to this blog, you can tell this is a WordPress site. And you can also choose which item that you want to bring up. Okay, they're having problems right now. And so that wasn't a good thing. But okay, they're having problems. But you can this did work yesterday. I'll say it like this, and I'm sure it will work later on. It's just not working right now. So let's say you want to learn more about OneDrive. It'll bring up all the blog posts about OneDrive right to the forefront, and you can learn all you want. And you should notice they have a lot of OneNote. They have the Garage series, which is a good thing to watch. So these are good things. This is the Microsoft Office 365 website. And this is where you want to go to. You just put office365.com. It redirects to welcome to the new office, which is office.microsoft.com. You click on for business. And then one thing I recommend for any business, choose the enterprise version. Do not choose the small and mid-sized business. I guarantee you that the enterprise is a much better solution for the long run. If you have 3 employees, you still want to choose enterprise. Microsoft will tell you different, but if you ever plan to grow as a company, you definitely want to choose enterprise because it's ever expanding. It's unlimited, and whereas small and mid-sized business doesn't really cut it as far as I'm concerned. It still does what it has to do, and you're still going to get the full benefits, but definitely choose for enterprise. Um, when you if you're a educational or government or nonprofit, same thing. when you go to those plans, they have the small business plan as well as like these here are the small business and these are the enterprise products. Choose either E1 or E3. With the E3, you get the full version of Office. With E1, you don't get Office. You use the built-in Office web app. And E1 is good if your computers are already loaded with Microsoft Office, And I'll explain that in a minute how you can use both Microsoft Office and the full version of E3, where you get the full version of Microsoft Office installed on a computer, and the differences that you get. There are some minor differences, and for small businesses, stuff like hoisted voicemail, business intelligence is may not be needed. Okay. But with the enterprise, you do get full Active Directory integration, which is good if you have a local Active Directory setup. For this particular thing that we're doing right now, I'm not going to get into that. Okay, I'm going to log into my administrator account and I'm going to set up a new user. I'm going to use Google Chrome to do that, and I'm going to use Firefox to log in as a new user. Okay. So this is already has my credentials. I just want to show you what it looks like if you don't keep me signed in so that it brings this up every time. If you notice, I have my other two clients here, but that's only two of those clients. I actually have several more clients than that. This is my wife's computer, by the way. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and log in under my administrator account. Okay. And I'll go ahead and type in my password. And also I want to select, if this is my computer, this is my computer. I'm going to select keep me signed in so that I don't have to, all I have to do is this. It saves my password in the Google Chrome password feature. And I just hit sign in and it logs me in automatically. I don't have to worry about, doing all that. If you ever want to, as an administrator or to help people out, if you ever want to help people with getting to this site here, there are two ways to do this. And this is what I've done as an administrator. On my public site, and I'll show you real quick. This is where employees can come to get to the public site. And so I have I'm using the SharePoint domain to do this. My main site is, of course, my main site, but I'm actually using uh, the domain of SharePoint for people to get access to certain forms. And because it's totally secured, if I have people sign a form on my website, I don't have to worry about having a secured website. I let Microsoft do that for me. So all my contact forms and information that needs to be secured, I do that on SharePoint and I link to it directly. So what I tell people is on GoDaddy, I do what's called a redirect. And I could do something like portal dot my domain, okay, and it can automatically redirect to this site. Okay, I don't have that set up for this particular demonstration, but I can set that up automatically by going to GoDaddy. And you know what? Why not show you that real quick? I would like to show you how you can set up a redirect in GoDaddy by using what's called a redirect. Okay, make sure I get the right password in there. Let's take it to my GoDaddy account. And I don't have anything too private in here that I'm worried about you guys stealing. So as long as you don't know my PIN number, I'm not worried about it. Okay, so I'm going to manage my domains. And then I'm going to go to Shiz Media. And I'm going to set up a redirect. Actually, you do that. You do this here. Hold on. I don't want to say the password on that one. Okay. So I'm going to select this, select forward, manage subdomains. Okay, actually I did have a redirect. It was called members. Okay, so we're going to use members, and I put member in members in case people forgot, but I was going to put portal, right? So let me copy this, and this really doesn't have anything to do with this at all, but I'm just going to put that in here anyway. I'm just going to put portal.shizmedia.net. Oops, wait a minute, you just have to put portal. My bad. There we go. And forward all, yes, add, save. Okay, so if I put in the next, it takes about a few minutes for that to go through. Let me go ahead and sign out of this real quick. Good, good, good. So that redirect is going to propagate throughout the internet in just a moment. But okay, what I was trying to show you was this right here. So if using my domain, I create a subdomain and I tell it to go to members.shizmedia.net, it automatically takes me to my public website that's with Office 365. Now I did do something similar to Simpa. Okay. Simpa is a nonprofit organization. It's the San Marcos Performing Arts Association. And basically, I created a link on our website. It's on the About page, which says Microsoft Office 365 staff only. And that basically redirects over to the this site here. Public documents. If I ever wanted to put documents that needs a little bit of security with the HTTPS, I can put that here. I can put logins and links to portal.microsoftonline.com, simpa.sharepoint.com, and mail, which is mail.office365.com. And this is for employees only. So if they click on it, it will automatically take them to their email. As you saw, I already signed into it. So because I already signed into my email, it's going to take me to my Shiz Media email. So these are all my emails. Okay. Right now I'm using my personal Office 365 account. Yes, I do have a Office 365 for Enterprise account that I use personally, but also I do use it for business as well. Like Sahid is one of my clients. Okay. So you want to, as an administrator, when you set up a new user, you want to, oh, they changed. Okay, yeah, actually, let's let you guys know something. There's added features here. They made some changes on the left side here. So this is new. I haven't seen this yet. Interesting. Okay. Oh, they got a new dashboard and everything. Very nice. Okay. So yeah, they make some, they're constantly changing. That's what I love about Office 365 is that they are constantly changing different features and formats. What I'm going to do is create a new user. I just hired somebody, and I'm going to create a new user. So let's say Bill Sanders B. Okay, let's just use John Sons. Okay, John Sons. Okay, J Sons is his. Well, for my company, since my company is so small, I'm going to start out using first names only. But eventually, as you know, I'm going to have to switch to. Oh, see, now this is a feature that wasn't there before. You were given a password generated by the Office 365 server. This is all brand new stuff, and I'm just now seeing this. This is my first time seeing this change. I'm telling you right now. But now you can type in a password. So if John was standing next to me, I say, okay, John, type in your password. Okay, type it again. There you go. And their password is already set. They don't have to go in and set their password again. But it's a good thing that that they have that. But let's say they're not there. John's not there. He's coming in tomorrow. Great. Okay, it's going to send me the password. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in there. I'm going to select Microsoft Office 365 Plan 1, and it's been successfully created. Very good. Oh, wait a minute. Where did that password go? Remember, I set myself that password? So Office 365 is going to send me a password with that temporary password that is going to allow me to send to John when he shows up tomorrow. Okay? So we'll wait for that password to come through. Okay, it didn't end up in junk mail. So we're just going to wait for that password to come through. All right, so let's go back because I don't want to wait too long. It usually just only takes a few seconds for the passwords to come through. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to reset the password. Okay, now that's the new password for John's son. Okay, so let me go ahead and copy this. Well, I can just be a little lazy here. I don't feel like typing it out. Okay, and I'm using Firefox to log in. This will show you that it is okay. Now, I'm not going to say the password because that's not his password. This is the old password. This is the password that was sent in the email. So if he ever runs into a problem and he doesn't know what that means, the old password is the password that was sent by way of email. And then I'm going to create a new password. Very good. So now this is John. This is John the next day doing all this. He is logging into his account, and this is what he sees. Keep in mind that the admin people don't see this. This is the first thing that the admin sees. So if you're ever directing somebody and you want to show them how to use this, they're not going to see this. They're going to see, oops, okay, I launched TweetDeck accidentally. They're going to see this instead. Hold on. Let me go ahead and close this. Okay. And so this is everything they need right here. This is basically gives them the information how to get started, how to get set up. So what is the first thing you want to do? You want to set up your PC. So you give them instructions and say, okay, click on PC and Mac. And depending on what type of computer they're using, if they're on a Mac, it's going to say set up your desktop applications to work with Office 365 for your Mac. Now, desktop setup. If you already have Office 2010 and 2007 installed on your computer, you must run this setup. Keep that in mind. You don't need to do this if you have Office 2013. Link. Link is something that you want to install as well. So you installed it as well. Now, if you have an E3 account, let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to run a incognito mode. Okay, because I want to log into one of my clients who does have E3 account set aside for me, which is real nice of him. Okay, I don't want to keep signed in for that. With the E3 account, you get to download all of Office. Okay, you get the complete suite. All right, so what they have to do is click on PC and Mac. Install software. And this is how they have the full version of Office. And all they have to do is run that. That's it. Just click on install. Now, once it finishes installing, this is when it's complete. Then the first thing you want to do is have them open up Office. They go to Microsoft Office 2013. They can open up Word. It's a very quick application to launch. So they open up Microsoft Word. And this will take just a few seconds. I got a few extra add-ins too, so it's going to take a little bit longer than usual. So I got a lot of add-ins in there. Now, what they want to do is click on Switch Account or Add Account. It's going to give them the ability to sign in to that account. It will show it will ask for a username, which is their email address. It will also ask them for their password to that account, which is doing right here. So I'm going to log into my client's email, because that's the account that I have Office 365 with Microsoft Office. I don't have Microsoft Office with my personal account. All right. And as you can tell, I can switch accounts whenever I like. So if you have multiple, if a person works for different companies, they have different, they're a contractor with different companies, like I do, then what's great about this is that they can switch accounts back and forth from like shizmedia.net, Simpa, and then back to Buckley Group. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close that. And that's all they have to do. Now their Microsoft Office is synced up with Microsoft Office 365. So now you want to go to Microsoft Office 2013, open up Outlook, and these are the instructions that you give them. Okay, let's do a new profile because I don't want to touch my wife's profile. So this is only for testing purposes only. Okay, it's asking for my username and password. And I'm going to show you what you have to go through in order to make this work. Okay, it's going to establish. Now, this is one of the caveats to setting up Outlook. Sometimes it won't do it the first time. Okay, it's one of those things. You just got to get through it. Just try it again and it will work. Sometimes on the third time, it will work. For this demonstration, though, I'm very happy to say it worked for me. Great. Thank you very much. All right. So it's going to load the profile. And it's now downloading information from the Exchange servers. And also I got a few plugins in it as well, so it's got to load all that too. It's set up a local copy, and there it is. My shiz email is now there. And I can expand this to make it look familiar, because it shows you like this automatically. But if you want the familiarity, go to my account. Okay, what is it asking for? All right, it wants me to reinstall. Okay, whenever you see that error message and you see that error message saying reactivate, um, the fix for that is to uninstall and reinstall Microsoft Office. It's one of those things that you have to do. So please ignore this during this because it'll take me a little bit too long to go through that. And I can even in the description below, I'm going to put a link to the knowledge base article that explains how to fix it. Basically, you run this fix it program off of the support.microsoft.com site. It removes all copies of Microsoft Office from your computer, and then you just install the latest version, and that fixes the issue. A new user would not have this issue. Okay, but whenever they do, then just make sure that they run through that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this because now we just want to continue on setting up his account. Basically, a new employee will just keep that running. In fact, keep that running. Why not? Okay, we'll go back to this. Okay, now, if it does ask you for that, you just have to log in again. And then that should take care of that. Oh, okay. You know what it wants? I think I know what this is. Okay. I'm going to have to add the Buckley group to it as well because it wants to identify. So give me just a moment. Let me just go ahead and add this email to it as well. Oh, just to let you know, in one Microsoft Outlook, you can have multiple emails added to this account. Of course, the more emails you have, like if you have 5, 6, 7, 8, or 10, then you're going to run into some problems because then it's okay. You got to restart. That's fine. Thank you very much. I wonder if that will take care of the error that I got right now. Okay, so it wants me to log into Bucky Group again. Okay. All right, so let's continue on through. This is for new users only. And once they set up that, their PC or Macintosh, or every time they get on a new computer, like they bought a new computer, then you want to go to phone and tablet. Windows Phone is my personal favorite. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. Oops, almost closed it out. There we go. Is my favorite. And if you've seen my vlogs before, Windows Phone is, in my opinion, is the best phone out there. But that's my opinion only. But you get Office Mobile included. They're already installed in the app. You get OneNote and Outlook. You can also install Link and SharePoint, which is a good feature too. If you got an iPhone, you can get OneNote, Outlook Web App, Link, SharePoint, and OneDrive for Business. Some good apps to have. If you have an Android, you can get OneNote and Link on your computer. BlackBerry, Nokia, the old Nokia phones, others. It just gives you instructions on how to set that up. If you got a Windows 8 tablet, this tells you how to get those apps for your Windows 8 tablet. Windows RT, which is not the full version, you can get those same apps. And if you got Windows 8 tablet, you can also install the full version of Office by going here, and it will show you all the versions of Office. Okay, and then if you got an iPad, you can install all the iPad functions as well. So those are good things to have, and just to know where you can get those at if you want your employee to be able to log in online. Now let's go to Outlook. Let's check out Outlook real quick. Outlook web app. If your employee doesn't have their laptop with them, but they need to get to their email, this is one of the things that they will see when they first access Outlook web app. You got to select their language. They can select whatever language they want. Okay. I want to select English, United States, and the time zone that they're at. I'm in Central Time, US and Canada. Save, and it's going to load Outlook web app. And there's their email. Their email is all set up. Okay. And if you notice, it shows you a version of Microsoft Link is text only right here. So people can message you at any time. And you can also set those options as well. Press OK. Okay, and then I can go to options. So make sure that you direct them to go to options, because in options they can set up their account. And so like display name, user ID, how much space they got on their drive. Every single user of Office 365, if they have a regular E1 or E3 account, gets 50 gigabytes of free space in their email. Okay, and that's a good thing. They can also set up their phone number. So you want to enable people to call you. Hmm. And then you can also organize your inbox rules, automatic replies, and those are for like vacations, if you go on vacation or something like that, delivery reports, retention policies, which is a lot of things that small businesses won't use. They can also see what distribution groups that they belong to and that they own. If they created their own, they can create their own distro by going here and create their own distribution group for their department. It's really easy to do. Site mailboxes, settings for mail, and if they're ever on a remote computer, not only do they want to set up their signatures for their mailbox here, they also want to set it here as well. So let's set up the signature real quick. Okay, you go to options, and this is for Microsoft Outlook. Mail, signatures, and okay, that's my wife's stuff there. I'm just going to create a new one called test. So you'll give it a name, and you want to reply with a new email and replies with test or whatever you want to call it. Make sure that you select the right one. Okay, and this is when you can put thank you, Antonio Edward. Antonio well, it would have been John, so let's put John. Okay, let's say if I use John. Okay, I'm just giving you an examples here of how you can teach. Okay, if you want to insert graphics and all that, that's great. You can do so by inserting graphic here. And just to let you know that you can't resize the graphic. So as an administrator, what you want to do is downsize the graphic that the whole company use, put it on SharePoint so that they can download the graphic and then insert the graphic here. Keep in mind that your signatures does not share across platforms. So you got to put this on all your devices. And so even on Outlook web app. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I want to go to here and put the same thing here. So now my Outlook web app has the same information as my Outlook does. Okay. I'm not worried about Outlook at this time because I want to show you all the online features. Okay, so I'm going to keep in mind that this is all text format here. So let's see. I'm going to do this real quick. What I'm doing right now is using OneNote because basically they can type this out directly, but I'm going to go ahead and do it that way. so that every time I send an email, people have my information, just like that. You can also put your address in there, however you want to do it. You know, you can pretty much add whatever you want in there, and then maybe saying, please stay green. Yeah, that's if you want that green statement. Maybe even add a different color to it, to kind of make it, kind of put out your statement there, right? All right. Oh, and don't forget the name of the company. All right, Shiz Media. And then the website address, something that you want to. All right, so I got my name, company name, address, my email address, phone number. Maybe you got a office number, and then a mobile number. Okay, so I don't care if that's too many numbers or not. I just put any old numbers there. All right, so then you got all that there, and and I'm going to save this real quick. And now that it's saved, I can go on to the next thing. Text and phone, don't have to worry about that too much. Block always, apps, you can install apps on here. It's really, really cool. We're not going to cover that too much. Now I'm going to go to calendar. And I just want to show you what calendar looks like to a first-time user. Of course, they're going to have a blank calendar. And so, let's see here. Calendar's coming up now. And there's my calendar. And so I can go to week, work week, day. I can set different options for that here. It's the same options that you get in Outlook. My people is my contact list. Now they changed the name. It used to be called contacts. Now it's called people, to match what they have on the Windows Phone, basically. And so you can have rooms, distribution groups, all that here. You also got the offline group list, which shows you every person that works for the company. And imagine if you got over 150,000 employees, that's a lot of people to get through. Okay. You can search for people too. So if I have a lot of people in my company, I can do a search for like my manager. Okay. Just do a search and it pops up here. And then I can add to my contact list so that my contact list matches the information that's loaded on their server. All right, so that's a people app. Yammer, we'll cover Yammer later. OneDrive. Now, OneDrive today and before today is 25 gigabits of storage. 25 gigabits is pretty large considering. And compared to Google Docs, which is also 25, but that's going to change in about 1 day from today, July 1st. You're going to be able to store 1,024 gigabytes of files. What does that mean? What does that mean? That's a lot of space. Well, a typical corporate computer will have about 100 gigabytes, a hard drive. That's typical. This computer right here, okay, this computer, and I'll show that to you real quick. This computer is a computer that I bought for my wife a few years back, a couple years back, and it has almost 700. Okay, let's say 650 gigabytes of free of space. 650 gigabytes. All right, but a typical business computer, just a regular workstation at a business, usually has like 100 or 250 gigs. So it's not a lot of space that you have on your hard drive. So really and truly, Do you really need that much space? Probably not. But you continue to, this is like a little demo here. Tomorrow, starting tomorrow, you get 1024 gigabytes of free storage, which is a lot. The first thing you want to do is synchronize this drive to your hard drive. So you click on sync now. All right. And I'll show you what that looks like. All right, it's taking just a little bit of time here. Okay, now this is what it did. Okay, just to kind of show you real quick. Um, Let me go here real quick. The reason why it created a SharePoint, John, is because I've already have a OneDrive setup for Serenity. She's also a member of SEMPA, and these are all the files for our SEMPA website. Okay, but let's go here real quick. So basically, it will create a drive called OneDrive for Business here. This is where you can find those files. Where SharePoint put it at this time is they put it here. So let's continue. Now, now that everything is here, what's good about that is that if I create a file, let me go ahead and shrink this. This is really cool. You guys go like this. It's just like Dropbox and anything else. All right, so I create a Microsoft Word document. Let me shrink this here so you guys can see that. Okay. Hello. Okay. And I call this document test and I save it. Oh, okay. I don't have to save it because it's automatically going to do that for me. All right. This is a test document, right? And now what I'm going to do is while it's doing that, you can see this here, right? While I'm doing that, I'm going to drag and drop a file. Let me see, something simple like this WAV file. It's not too big, is it? Nope. Let me see. Let me just grab any old file here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put that file directly there. It is now synchronizing. And there's some sync issues. Probably because permissions is needed. Okay. Okay. It's a good thing that we're seeing some of these errors come up because then what do you do? Well, we're about to run some tests here. Okay, let's grab that file again. Did it put test here instead? Okay, so where did test go? All right. Sorry, folks. It probably would have been better if I started this with. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it seems to it's stuck on the other credentials, which I think what you're going to run into a lot the is that if you have multiple accounts like this, it may not be a good idea to have them on one login. Just create a new user altogether. Okay. Let's see if this works. If it doesn't, then I gotta try something else. No. Okay. All right. This one's logged into another account, so I can't really do this for this demonstration. Well, basically, this is supposed to synchronize to that. Oh, wait a minute. Did I show you that? Boom, boom. There it is. You can drag and drop files directly. And if this was set up on a new user, like it should have been, you would have saw where it would have synchronized all that up. So I'm going to go ahead and stop syncing a folder and tell it to stop syncing that because I'm going to delete that anyway. Okay, that's not there anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this folder and get rid of that. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will continue. Okay, so there it is. It's now on the website. And I can always access it in Office Web Apps. If he has an E1 account, he's not going to be able to do anything in Microsoft Word or anything like that unless you have a valid license for Microsoft Word for that computer. So in that case, you will have to set Microsoft Word up a little differently. But if Microsoft Word is not installed on the computer he's using, he can always use Office Web App, edit the document just like this, and make any edits that he wants. It automatically saves it. There's only need to hit save. Remember that save the button thing is automatically saved. So don't you have to worry about that. It will automatically save your changes and everything. All right, let's get back to OneDrive. And so now you want to go to sites. SharePoint sometimes takes a little bit of time to set up for a new user. That's why I didn't go to SharePoint first. I didn't want to show you SharePoint because it takes time for it to set up. It seemed like it got everything for me, so I don't have to worry about that. But the one thing he wants to do first is go to About Me. About Me. User photo. You see where it says user photo there? I'm going to change the photo, but you do it actually by changing your profile picture. And I'm going to look for a picture of somebody here. I don't know which, but let's say, okay, that's John's son right there. That's going to be his picture. He can upload whatever picture he wants, but as a company, you can probably enforce. You can probably enforce that the pictures will take, that you want more professional photographs. Now you saw that message there that says that it will take some time for the photographs to appear. So just allow that to happen. It does take time, but if you want to change the picture, he can always go back and change the picture. Wait for it to upload. There we go. Save it. He can talk about himself. He can ask me about, well, what does he do? Is he an accountant? Accountant, accounting questions. Okay. And then click on contact. He can put his mobile number. He can put the company fax number. Hey, what's the fax number for this office? Oh, okay, thank you. And if he wants to, he can put his home phone number. He can put San Marcos. Okay. How about Texas? All right. Assistant, he doesn't have one. Past projects, blah, blah, blah. Skills, accounting, software, Salesforce, ERP. Okay. What schools did he go to? I went to University of Southern California. February 13th is the birthday. Let's see, what other things can he put in here? Newsfeed settings. He can check, what he wants to do with that. Language and region. All right, so pick your language. All right, time zone. Oh, on your profile page. Okay, so remember I already set that before. Use the region. Okay, that's already set. Already set. Good. Show week numbers. That's already set. All right, these are already set too in Microsoft Outlook. Time zone, all that. It's already set. So these all synchronize across, and so therefore you don't have to worry about making changes. All right, for him it'll probably be like John dot son 1 2 3 4, whatever. Okay, save it. Okay. Now this picture here, they won't see it on their Outlook or Microsoft Link for about 24 hours. It can take, it may not take as long, but it can take up to 24 hours for everybody to see this picture on in Microsoft Link and Microsoft Exchange or Outlook. So don't expect that to happen right away. All right, so I'm going to open up Microsoft Link. They're set up here. Everything is done here. Okay. Office 365 settings, I think I showed you as well. This is where they can also set their information too, as well. The administrator actually does this right here. So what you want to do as an admin is get with Johnson and say, hey, Johnson, I'd like to get more information from you. Let me, and this is on the admin side, okay? Let me get, okay, what's your title again? You're accounting manager. Okay, thank you. And you work for the accounting department. Okay, accounts receivable. I don't know. I don't know much about accounting, but okay. Is that spelled correctly? Receivable? Yeah. And then office, well, San Marcos, Texas office. The phone number, my mobile, and then say, hey, what's your mobile number? Hey, thank you, man. Just in case I need to call you on the phone. Okay, and what's the address to the office? This is something that you'll probably already have anyway. Just to let you know, these are all fake addresses. So, all right, save it, and then go back. You don't have to save it at that point, but then go back and kind of make sure that all his roles. He doesn't have admin access. You don't make sure he doesn't have that. Um, they're allowing non-admins to do recovery emails. Okay, that's something new too. Make sure that they have access to everything. All right. This is where you can add in more email addresses. Let's say, for instance, John also works for a division in your company, and we can worry about that later. All right, save it, and that's it. His account's now set up. Now, in Exchange, this is where you set up his roles and policies and access. Okay, so you go to Groups, and you want him to have access to Scriptwriter on Double Shot, which is a movie I'm working on. So in ownership or membership, actually, you add them to that. So you add them to different groups. Okay. Within an hour, he'll have access to groups. And so let's go back to the user. The user can then access all the websites that are internally stored, team sites. So now he does have access to Double Shot because I gave him access. And sure enough, he does because I gave him access. Cool thing, right? And all the stuff that's within. All right, it's logged into my Yammer, so I'm not going to talk about Yammer today. All right, so he's all set up as far as Office 365 concerned. This is with the exception of Yammer. The next time I do one of these, I'm going to make sure that I do this on a new user account because I think I'll run into less issues at that point. I can always use my tablet to do administrative work in the background. But let me go ahead and sign out of this account. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main portal on that account. And oh, wait a minute, I was under. Okay, let me show you again. So because I gave him access to Double Shot, he now has access to Double Shot. If he clicks on, oops, it's this one here. All right, if he clicks on Double Shot and he didn't have access, let's see if it propagated. No, it didn't. So it's going to take some time for it to propagate, for him to get access to that, because I blocked everybody from getting access to Double Shot. But John's son does have access to it because I gave him permission here. So it's going to take some time for that to propagate. Once it does, um, it takes about an hour or so. He will have access to Double Shot within 1 hour. Okay. Um, but he has access to, I believe, everything else. Let me see. I don't think I set permissions on these. Nope, I didn't. So he doesn't. He does have access to everything else here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I'm going to say thank you very much. Sorry I ran into a few problems here and there, but basically very easy steps, right? It will probably take a new user about 1 hour or less, to set up, depending on their if they're proficient with Microsoft Office or not. Uh, and if they know about SharePoint, they can probably click around a lot easier. Person who's computer savvy can probably get through it quicker. You could probably do this in a training course. Like if you're training a bunch of people at one time, just taking through the steps of setting up their picture, their credentials, um, and then make sure that everybody puts a decent photograph. And I think this is a decent photograph. But for my company, if I actually owned an actual company with many people, I will have them put up headshots of some sort. It could be as funny as they want, as long as it's a full face picture, something that where they can recognize the face, so that that can be identifiable later. I'm going to go ahead and delete this user. I fired the person. I didn't like him, so I'm going to go ahead and fire him. And one thing about firing somebody is if you take away their access, that will delete a lot of different things, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so basically what you want to do is delete them. What's good about that is you can always go to deleted users, and let's say you guys just, you worked out your issues, you can always restore it. Now John's son cannot log into his account anymore. He's locked out because he's in deleted users now. So got rid of that user. I'm going to sign out of mine because I'm done for the day. And I'm done with looking at what the latest is about Microsoft Office. I'm ready to go home and spend time with the family. All right, I want to stop this recording now, and thank you very much. Peace out.